beneath its murky waters lies the headquarters of the most sinister villains of all time, the Legion of Doom.
Hey, I guess nobody's watching yet, but you know what? We'll hang out. We'll get people on. Maybe they're bored of me. I did a live stream earlier today with Omar's intern. It was called Rise of the Interns because I'm Jess's intern and he's Omar's intern, and we had a good crew of people watching.
Dom of X, right?
Yeah, Dom of X, which sounds kind of like erotic. The name, like,
yeah, a little bit.
he said, yeah, he's like, I'm Dom of X and I have 1,000 subs. And I was like, dude, that doesn't sound great. But you know what? Good for him. We got one person watching. Say, that's probably my mom. She checks out all my live streams.
It could also be my wife.
Oh, hi, Mrs. Illuminerdy.
If that's her and not your mom.
That's fun. Dude, what have you been up to since our last live stream? Which was, by the way, your last live stream was so much fun. I cracked up on that. I had a good time.
Yeah, that was probably the most fun I've had on live stream.
Except for all of mine, right? Like the one.
Well, yeah, your bachelor party was pretty wild. I can't lie.
The fact that all that stuff was live, like when I went through that to do my best of YouTube thing, and all the David dancing scenes was just.
I know, yeah. Wasn't there a point where like everybody was not shirtless, but like their shirts were all opened or something?
I think it was everyone was trying to be on the same level as your V-neck.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was, so what have you been up to since then? Anything exciting?
Well, I experienced my first hurricane in Florida.
So now you're a real Floridian.
From what I hear. I think we talked last time I was on like a live stream with you that I work on generators, so that was really hands-on for me. That was tough. So I've been just working for the past 2 days, just working on generators and swimming in people's neighborhoods because they're so flooded. And then I had to work on my truck today. So really nothing interesting.
Why do I imagine when you fix the generators, it's a little more involved in clicking square and doing a miles punch?
Yeah, no.
Is it a little more involved, or is that basically it?
I do get to that point where I start punching them, but it is more involved than that. And usually I'm pulling my hair out by an hour into the repair.
Oh, so I have a book to show off, courtesy of you. I got this bad boy. So,
well, I can't take credit for that. I can't take credit for that.
But then here's the thing. Jess didn't sell it to me. It's okay if someone sold it to you. They can take credit for selling it to you. Your description sold it to me. So you can take at least some credit.
Okay, I'll take credit for that then.
Yeah. So am I in store for a journey?
Yes. Yeah. That is, when you're reading books or reading comic books and like there's sometimes a story or a title or something that just like changes your lens or your view on something, that was one for me. And I kind of feel bad because when you read, you find out that she really doesn't want you to do that, like say how relatable it is and stuff. But I couldn't help but just think to myself, wow, I feel so seen after reading this.
In her autobiography. Wait, wait, is this the artist that you always give a yam to or green bean or something?
Yeah, potato.
There we go. I knew it was something.
Yep.
I guess Bunk lost power today, so he's held up at his family's house.
No.
Yeah, so hopefully, I mean, if Tyler needs to come down there and fix your generator, he will.
Does Bunk have a generator?
I don't know. He definitely charged me up though because I sent him that clip of my interview with Joe Casey last night. So he proceeds to FaceTime me or Discord me shirtless to give me what I was asking for.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, so I definitely experienced what the Bunk thirst trap dream of. I literally have original pages from that book. What book do you not have original pages of?
Yeah,
you know?
really.
And did you pay for said original page with some sort of produce?
Yeah, the potato thing. I watched Bunk's videos and I didn't understand it. I'm like, why does he give her a potato? But when you read that, you'll learn why he gives her.
Oh my gosh! Now I'm even more pumped. Why didn't you say that from the beginning?
Yeah, there's Bunk lore in that book now.
That's the dream, dude. That'll be when Johnny Quest, when there's a shirtless race scene. That's Jake lore. But
Yeah,
I'm glad he laughed at that joke though, because I was worried that he was gonna take that in a weird. Because when I watched Omar's interview, I don't know if it was because he was a live stream or if it was like his first interview. He seemed pretty stiff and not like super fun. So I was and like the sunglasses made me feel like I didn't get a good vibe, But when I interviewed him, it was perfect. So I'm glad
yeah,
that he took all my funny jokes in the spirits the positive spirit they were intended in.
yeah. I feel like you and him were vibing like really, really well during your interview. I feel like he had maybe not the same, but the like very close to the same sense of humor as you. And I
Yeah.
feel like nothing was going over his head. He was right with you on everything.
And I felt crazy because I've literally read nothing that he's done. So I was like, do I try to cram and read some of his stuff? Well, I read the free comic book day of Johnny Quest, but I was like, you know what? Just embrace how much you loved Boomerang as a kid, and that'll be your through line with him. And
Yeah,
I think what we got along with is we're both just massive fans.
yeah,
And I feel like sometimes there's like pretentious writers. I'm not going to name anybody, but they act like they're like maybe like a little above the work, but for him, he was like, no, you just got to be a fan.
yeah.
So that
I
was
actually
awesome.
like writers that like write from that point of view too. Like I find myself like you were saying that like the pretentious writers and stuff like that. Like I kind of take a step back sometimes from that level of writing because it's just so like not only big brained but like holier than thou. It's just like I
Yeah.
just mean I can't dive into books like that like constantly. It has to be fun and entertaining also.
So how much did you spend on the potato? Like, it wasn't like, so I'm guessing you made maybe $22 of profit or something like that. Look at you go. And shouts out to my friend Gianni just popping in to say hi and hope you have a great stream and great rest of your night. Thanks, man. Everyone check out the Gianni podcast, Biff Bam Boom. I think those were the right onomatopoeias. It was something along those lines. Um, so I got a couple books to show off. If you have anything recent, you can show it off. But the first one was a blind buy, but I got Zdarsky Daredevil.
Okay.
Um, so I'm a big Daredevil fan, but I haven't read any of like the most recent stuff. What's up, Valzad? And shouts out. What does the bat mean?
I don't know. I think he's commented that in like every live stream, and I don't know the lore behind it. I want to know though.
Yeah. What tell us the James Abel lore. Um, but yeah, can't do any of this without James. He's got that cool little mechanic gear.
Yeah.
Have you picked up any books recently?
Yeah, I had it's not anything super substantial. I just had 2 Amazon gift cards to just
What the
use.
best?
Yeah, those are all so great, but you always know you're going to get a book that's going to be dinked up. But I
Yeah.
just got Hellboy Library Edition Volume 3. I'm trying to collect all those. And then I got Witcher Library Edition. Mm, I
I've never
think
read
that's
any
it.
of the Witcher books. I love the games though.
Yeah, I haven't read anything that is collected in that second library edition, but I read like the Mike Mignola issues, and well, I think he just illustrates it. I don't know if he writes it, but yeah, huge fan of the games also.
Yeah.
Huge fan.
I only played the third one, but like I literally invested like a year into that game, and I feel like I made all the wrong choices. I won't spoil anything, but how my world ended up like wasn't the worst possible ending, but it wasn't great.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Um,
I got a horrible ending, and then I replayed it like right there because I was like, because there's like a point in the ending portion of the game where there's like dialogue options that you have to pick, but none of them seem as impactful as they
Yeah.
are. Like,
Yeah, it's
like
like I feel like, why do I feel like you're the jerk that was like, you know what, I'm not gonna snowball fight with you. And
I was.
that's like the most important dialogue choice in the entire game is like having a playful snowball fight, and you don't
Yep.
think so, but that ripple butterfly effect.
Yeah, and it's during like a development like phase, and not to do too many spoilers, but it's like a development scene for Siri, and you're trying to teach her a lesson, and I'm like, well, what would I do? I wouldn't snowball fight. I'd be like, you need to take this serious, and that
Oh
was
my god. You're okay, shave off the dad stash. You don't deserve it anymore. Kick said he's the Wade for the comics YouTube. And what game is this? We're talking about Pong. So
or Duck Hunt, I thought it was.
yeah, it was a really impactful scene in Duck Hunt. The next book I picked up is another blind buy, but I got Tales of the Jedi.
Oh yeah.
Have you read any of this stuff?
Wait, is that Tales of the Jedi or is that New Republic?
You know what? Tales of the Jedi is coming in another package. This is New Republic.
Okay, I was about to say, I was like, wait, what?
I got like a big package from our sugar daddy, but it got split up somehow, and one box arrived Monday, and the other box isn't arriving until Thursday. So I got New Republic, this has the Thrawn stuff. This is what I was looking forward to.
Yep.
And then Tales of the Jedi, I guess, will be Thursday.
Yeah, Tales of the Jedi, I'm pretty pumped to get. I think that's coming in my next order. But that's all mostly new stuff to me, so I'm super excited to get that one in. I read most of the material in that omnibus, which I think you did too. You read the Thrawn and Dark Empire and all that.
The only non-continuity Star Wars I've ever read is the Old Republic. So
okay.
I know of Thrawn a lot from like the animated series and stuff when they brought him back in Rebels and that stuff. And I've heard Heir to the Empire is amazing. So this will be my first time reading it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting, and I try to mention it in a lot of my videos because it's like it's episodes 7, 8, and 9 before the entire Rey Skywalker saga, which is really cool to think about. That's kind of the route that they were going in comic book format, at least.
Yeah. This is a good joke between me and Bunk. So I told him that one of the games I loved playing as a kid was Fable, and to him that was like a high school or adult game, and it just makes him feel ancient. But like I loved Fable as a kid.
Bunk's not that old though, right? I mean, Bunk looks like
it's starting to show the years and the I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't think he's that old, but I think that specific thing makes him feel old. Like for me, something is like hearing people's first Pokemon game. If it's ever anything after mine, makes me feel old.
Yeah.
Like it's just one of those things where it's just a weird unit of measurement. What is up, William Lee? I got a couple other books that I know nothing about, but they seem interesting. I got Demon Wars, which is by Peach Momoko, and apparently she does everything, like the art, the writing, the lettering.
Yep.
And this book looks wild. I'm glad it's in color. It's in gorgeous like watercolor. So yeah. I think this looks like it's going to be a journey.
Yeah, I think is there a second book to that? I'm sure Bunk knows, but
yeah, this is Demon Wars. The first one is Demon War, I'm assuming. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if that's true.
Pulling for anything.
Yeah. Demon Wars Electric Boogaloo. I grew up with the OG 151, so every generation is after. Yeah, I grew up with I didn't play those ones at first. My first one was like the Ruby Sapphire ones, but I went back and played those other ones.
Now, for you, going back to the topic of Pokemon,
yeah,
which route do you lean when getting the copy of the game? Like, how they always have like some blue version and some red version?
Yeah.
Like, do you go blue or
I
red?
think so my family bought us Ruby, me and my sister, and one Game Boy, not realizing that a Game Boy is kind of a one-person thing and there's no multiple save files. So like a few days later, they bought us another one and they bought me Sapphire. So I went Sapphire, and then I went Pearl, and then obviously I got Emerald. I went fire red instead of leaf green. And then I think I went white over black. And recently I did both sword and shield because when you get older, you realize you need both.
Yeah. Yeah. When
And
you have grown up
then
money.
I did soul silver. So I don't know what that says. Maybe the whatever the lighter thing is.
Yeah.
Like sapphire, soul silver. You know what? But that's okay because some people missed it. But yes, it's okay.
The
I'm glad that you
Pokemon?
watched. I'm glad that it did come up. So if you want to see, like, I'm a massive Pokemon fan. I literally have a Gengar tattoo. So I love me some Pokemon. I asked Dom today what his starters were because like he sent me a Totodile gif and said Totodile was the best starter, and I had a different favorite starter. So I had him go through and talk about his favorite starters.
Interesting. Yeah, I actually was thinking about the other day as like a short idea or like TikTok or something, like bringing up everyone's favorite starters or your ideal Pokemon team.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about Pokemon, so it's really weird that came full
That's how
circle.
that's how the universe works, man.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess so. My question I asked Dom, I'll ask you. Give me your favorite fire, water, and grass starter. And ideally, it's cool if they're in different generations. It's fine if they are, because for me, Hoenn would be all three. But like, what's your if you can try to space it out through what you've played, like, what's your favorite fire, water, and grass?
Grass is C-Dot. That's the one that turns into
Shiftry.
yes, C-Dot, and then do they have to be starters or just Pokemon?
Well, yeah, I was thinking starters, but if you want to tell me your favorite Pokemon in general, that's also fine.
Yeah, my favorite fire type is Arcanine, and then
Nice.
my favorite water type Squirtle. Squirtle's my favorite Pokemon.
My favorite water Pokemon is Mudkip. It was just such a broken Pokemon, but
Yeah.
I love Gengar and I love Eevee. But Gengar would like we talked about it earlier. Like he was like someone said Gengar should be a starter, and I'm like it wouldn't work because all the Pokemon are normal in the beginning and Ghost doesn't work on them. So that would be a yeah. But Gengar is my favorite Pokemon.
Yeah, I'll have a tattoo of Squirtle at some point on my leg, but
Squirtle Squad, like, is he gonna have sunglasses or no sunglasses?
no, just OG like Gen 1 Squirtle trading card. Like him standing on the what was it, like a purple set of like coral or something blowing bubbles, that like original card. I just want that on my leg.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? That's good. That's a better question. What Pokemon are you going to get tattooed on your body, inked forever, so that you're 80 years old with this? You know?
Yeah, I have. I'm starting. Since I guess we're on the topic of tattoos,
Let's do
I
it.
have
Hit me
like
with it.
a leg sleeve that I'm starting to do on my left leg of just comic book panels and nerdy stuff. And I only have my thigh done so far, but I'm going all the way down to the ankle.
I've been wanting a comic book tattoo for so long, and the only thing stopping me is there's too many that I want. You know what I mean? It's like it's hard because it's like some of them are so basic. Like I want a Batman tattoo, but I don't want something basic like just like the logo or the Superman logo. But it's also like it needs to be done in the right art style. So I don't know what I want. One of my favorite, I think my favorite tattoo that I have is this one, which is the Radish Spirit from Spirited Away.
Yep.
So I think that guy does good adding a little bit of red. Like he added red into the Gengar's eyes, if you can see it all.
Yep.
So
yeah.
I like a little bit of color. Fat Pikachu needs to make a comeback. That true, dude. What happened to Pikachu?
Slimmed out.
See, I don't play anymore because I don't go outside anymore.
Yeah.
And what I realized as an adult is that when you work like Monday through I worked weekends before as an adult or whatever, but all the community events were like during the day. There was nothing you could, because they don't want you playing at night. So you couldn't go out like on an 8-hour shift and then do a community event. So I don't think I'll ever go back because I transferred all my Pokemon to another game. And I think my Pokemon Go is just scraps left now.
Yeah, I played Pokemon Go a little bit, and then the area I was growing up in was not a super great part of Maryland, but there was don't even remember what the Pokemon was, but there was like a playground where a rare Pokemon would always appear, and whoever would show up, you'd like get robbed. So we just
Oh my god.
yeah
That's so dark.
yeah. Sorry if I messed
No,
up the vibe there.
that's okay. I mean, that's not the worst crime. It's not like they got kidnapped or something, but
Yeah.
like what was, do you remember what the Pokemon was? What the rare one was?
No, I don't remember at all, but I
Wait, so
remember
you okay, then tell me this. Did they dress up as Team Rocket?
no. No. And they also didn't steal your Pokemon. They stole your real money.
Yeah, but like that'd be amazing if they dressed as Team Rocket while they like steal your phone and your wallet and stuff. Like
Yeah.
I shouldn't laugh at any of those people that got robbed, but like
Yeah,
that
it
is
got bad. They had to close down the park because there was
oh
like
my god.
robberies. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That is
Okay, I
sad.
gotta segueing back to comics. I got a couple books left. This was another blind buy. I got Little Monsters by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen.
Nice.
So that was a blind buy. And then my last three, I got Spider-Man Blue, Daredevil
Ooh.
Yellow, and then this like sassy looking hot Doctor Strange. Like
Yeah.
he's feeling himself in that cover, bro.
Yeah, he is.
So that was my haul this week, courtesy of our sugar daddies.
Nice.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad we did this, because otherwise I was gonna do the OPB whatnot stream and spend money I shouldn't have. But when David's dancing, and like it's hard to say no.
Yeah, I tried to stay off whatnot. I think I downloaded it for like 2 weeks, and then I just backed off. I was like, this is so dangerous.
Yeah, it's sometimes you get lucky though. Like I went into a whatnot. I think one of like Jim's last whatnot streams. I clock in if they're doing a giveaway. I enter, I win, and go. Okay, I'm dipping out now. And like I got like this Berserker #1 or something. I don't even know where it is, but like for literally like 2 seconds of my time. So
Nice.
sometimes it works out. But yeah, what are you reading currently?
I'm currently reading, which my computer's sitting on top of, so I can't exactly pull it, but
Okay.
Incredible Hulk by Peter David, Volume 2.
Okay.
And then I'm reading At the Mountain of Madness, which it's a manga, but it's H.P. Lovecraft story.
Oh wow.
And then Skyward, which I'm loving.
How do you do your reading? Do you have like one Omni and then you occasionally mix in smaller stories to like not get burnt out?
Yeah, I usually have an Omni, and then I'll leave that at my desk. That's like my non-mobile book.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will have a manga volume and an indie title going simultaneously. And then I'll read when I'm at my desk. I'll just decide where I want to read pretty much.
That's cool. I think that's been the one thing that's been nicer for me as I've been reading a lot more digitally, is just feeling way more mobile and unshackled from my desk, because it's one of those things where the grass is always greener. I'm sure you would love a desk job where you worked from home all day, but when you add in that like 8 hours from home at a desk plus a YouTube channel plus live streams, and that's the only spot you read, I was feeling like I never moved from this room, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, my wife works remote at our house, and she's same thing you just said. Like as soon as I come in, she's just like, let's do anything.
And you're the opposite, because me and my wife have that where I'm like a golden retriever. I'm like, you want to go do something? And she's just like, oh, I just got home, driving in like an hour plus in traffic. Like I never want to leave the house again. And I'm like, but I didn't go outside today.
Yep,
so
exactly.
It's weird, but I also feel like it's better to be that than, I feel like there's no recipe worse than if you both worked from home. I feel like we would drive each other like bonkers. Like it's nice to have some, I mean, I guess we have multiple rooms, but like I still feel like a lot of relationships didn't survive the pandemic,
Yeah.
So this is a good question. Shouldn't they station some cops there?
Oh, at the park?
Yeah.
No, they just So I always walked past it when I was like going to school and stuff like that. Um, so I walked past it. There was like a crime scene tape around it,
Oh
and then
my
that
god.
weekend it was gone. They just bulldozed it.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, they
Uh,
don't play.
being married is more dangerous than whatnot. Renee wins more giveaways than anyone I've ever met because everything he purchases, he won in a giveaway.
I know what's dangerous about being married.
Yeah, tell us in the comments. I'm newly married, so is Illuminerdy, so maybe we don't know what's dangerous yet, you know?
Yeah, we're still noobs.
I'm sure we'll find out, you know. Like I've learned to I'm learning some of the good tricks, you know, like one thing that's worked for us is that oftentimes when because I know that I'm working at home, but I also like try to do some stuff around the house to like clean up. But what I like to clean up or whatever wasn't what my wife likes cleaned up. So what worked for us is like we have a little whiteboard on the fridge now, and she can write down like 2 to 3 tasks that it'd be nice if I get to, you know. So
Yeah, yeah,
that way I do the right. Not that well, I wasn't doing the right tasks before, but like I was cleaning what served me. Like maybe you don't always clean my office, you know.
yeah. Not
Yeah.
cleaning up the right things. Come on, Jake.
I know, I'm learning, but so basically the first one is one that like I should definitely do, and the other two are additional bonus tasks that it's like it makes it like a quest. You know what I mean? Like
I'm doing great today.
I got, and then she tells me how much experience points I earned. No, it's not, yeah, but no, it is fun because then it helps us like it's a non-naggy way to communicate what it would be nice for me to get done while I'm at home, you know?
Yeah, we're kind of on the similar thing. We got to find a workaround because she works from home, so she's like cleaning the house and making food and taking care of the dogs, and then I come home and I'm just like exhausted, ready to crash, and I just feel like I'm not even contributing anything. So
Yeah.
so we got to find a workaround as well. But
I, I
that's
I've
life.
been I've been in both sides of it. Well, obviously, I've never had a job that seems as manually taxing as your job, you know. But like there's definitely been periods in my life where like when I was working, especially when I was working full time, you know, non remotely. I was also a full time student, so I was
Yeah.
really burnt out, and I definitely wasn't doing enough. But you know, you just ebb and flow. I think what it is like everyone wants relationships to be an equal 50-50% partnership, but I feel like instead it's you just need to get to 100 together. So it's okay to have periods where someone's giving 60 and you're giving 40, you know, just
Yeah.
communicate. And I mean, I'm not going to act like I'm a perfect husband after less than a year of marriage. You know, we still, but like, that's the thing is
I
we
love
try
the
to,
topic of this stream. Like we're talking comic books and some marriage advice, some marriage
right,
counseling. We're here.
and assaults in parks and
Yeah.
Pokemon, you know, it's the right
Yeah.
spectrum, you know, but it's okay, you know. There we go. Dark Knight's got it perfectly. Communication is key. Married 23 years, find things you can do it together that helps as well. I think what we learned is that sometimes you need to do things together, sometimes you need alone time, and sometimes you need alone time together.
Yep.
So like sometimes like we'll be watching a show and I'm reading a comic on the iPad and she's playing like her Animal Crossing on her Switch, and we're not really actually together, but we're physically in the same proximity. And then other times we need to be like actively engaged in what we're doing together.
Yeah, I think that's a major key. I think that's probably how me and my wife spend the most time together is just her either reading her book and I'm reading a comic, or we're in the same space but we're not exactly doing the same thing because we
Yeah.
have to coexist. We're not an actual unit, so it's just about doing what you want still while being with that person.
And I think that's why like digital reading for me has been so nice is because now I'm not like sequestered into my office alone, feeling like I'm not like being with her. I like so what really helped for me is I got the Steam Deck, so now I can game next to her while we watch TV together, and I have the iPad to read digital comics next to her. And I think that's really been working for us, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to get a iPad for digital reading just to keep up with like singles and stuff because I've been getting really, really tempted with getting back into the singles game.
I think for me, I'm gonna be back into it because of how quickly things go on DC Universe. I want to like with this new All In initiative, I want to kind of be up to date with that. But
Yeah.
also, Dynamite should be sending me digital copies of their new comics soon.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
because I don't think, as far as I know, I don't know a lot about Dynamite yet, but I don't think they have like Dynamite Unlimited or something like that.
I don't
So
think so. Yeah.
so I don't think I'll ever go back to buying like floppies unless it's like something like super special. Um
I really miss that though. Like I even talk to my wife a lot where it's like that Wednesday new comic book day just made like the middle of the week hump day so much more enjoyable and you had something to look forward to. So Tuesdays were exciting exciting the same way like a Friday was because you had something to look forward to the next day. And then once you got those comics, Thursday was like your read day, end of Wednesday into Thursday. So then you were excited for Thursdays. So I just miss that midweek, just
ha-
something to pick me up and get me through.
have you found a comic book shop near your area? Because I
Yeah.
imagine I know that you moved to a new place, so I'm sure some of it stems from trying to find that comic community, which is like there is something that was special about going to the comic book shop, talking to the workers, and that's like, that's a nice feeling. But I also know that it's like you got to find the right shop for you.
Yeah.
And
I
you come
found
from
a,
a place with a great shop.
yeah,
Um,
Maryland had a lot of shops. Here there's two near me, but both of them, like one is the size of Third Eye, so I got lucky there to have another like superstore. And
mhm.
then the other one is like a mom and pop shop, but it's like a borderline nonprofit comic book store. Like a lot of the money they put back into the community and
Oh
and
wow.
teach kids how to read using comic books and hold like drawing classes and stuff like that. So it's a really nice balance if I want to help out like a really
Yeah.
nice shop or just like shop
Go
until
yeah, go to the nice mom and pop that has good intentions, or the massive conglomerate. No.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like that'd be awesome though. I know that you do a lot of collected edition stuff, but maybe you could do like some sort of video with them. I think you did a Third Eye video, but it's hard because like whenever you branch out on YouTube, YouTube's like, no, we don't like change. And
Yeah.
like I'm so proud of my Joe Casey interview. It's also my worst performing video I might have ever done. Like,
Yeah.
which is
Yep.
like heartbreaking to me. But it's also like in my mind, that's what's beneficial to the community overall. Like if I get a couple more people maybe checking out Johnny Quest or Dynamite books and they've never bought Dynamite stuff before, like that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's like even if it's like two people or three people getting eyes to a creator that's amazing like Joe Casey or a store that's amazing like Third Eye or whatever, I feel like it kind of is worth it. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
sure, we don't get a bunch of views or anything, but we're at least like fighting the good fight and getting,
Exactly.
two more sets of eyes.
Yeah, and I feel like at the end of the day, like I don't know, I sometimes I feel like who cares about comic book YouTube? But then other times, like when I talk with Joe Casey and he says, like, you guys are like helping us exist, you guys are like the modern comic journalists, it makes me feel like what we're doing actually does have value, and it does have value. And like we help encourage people to find a way to get to make comics accessible, because a lot of times with hobbies, like things are really gatekeepy, or like they feel hard to enter. And I think we do a good job of like helping people feel like they can access the hobby.
Yeah, and also talk about comic books in general because you can find a forum everywhere on the internet that's gushing over Alan Moore Swamp Thing or a Grant Morrison book or something like that. But I think it's so unique to have a community where it's just love for comic books, full stop, and that's where it begins and ends is just comic books, not oh let's gush about this or talk about this specific. It's just if you love the medium, then you belong here, and there's no gatekeeping. It's just come in and let's gush about it.
That's awesome, man. Are there any books that are coming out this year that you're looking forward to? Have we talked about that yet? Like anything upcoming that you're excited about? Do you currently have a whale?
No whale. I canceled whales out of my collecting life. I try not
Nice.
to create them.
Well, yeah. I just didn't know if there was like a book that like you're hoping gets reprinted someday, or like you're, not one that you'd actually pay whale prices for, but
No, I actually really like the route that Marvel has been going with a lot of their prints, and then obviously all the news we got for DC. Like, I feel like I don't even need to like give my advice or my 2 cents on that because they're on it now. So they're just going to keep on pumping out amazing content.
you were the one person in the world that's looking forward to Cosmic X-Men, right?
No, not that.
Okay, so take back everything you just said, except for
Yeah, there was a few questionable announcements, but I'm not like, I know there's someone out there that wants that, so
yeah.
it is what it is.
So to answer Dark Knight's question, I have not checked out Space Ghost or Thundercats. I did just recently partner up with Dynamite, so I'm gonna start having the pick of the litter of Dynamite creator interviews, and they basically just send me a long list of creators I've sadly never heard of because I only read mainstream comics. But I'm excited to go down this journey of opening up to more things. So the one person that we have set up right now, we're working on, is my favorite comic book YouTuber is Sal from Comic Pop. And he just got announced that he's doing the backup issues in Terminator. So I quickly emailed him and was like, do you want to come on my show and talk about it? And he was like, I'd love to. And I was like,
Is
yes.
that going to be in Dynamite?
Yeah, Dynamite's doing Terminator, and he's doing the backup issues.
Wow, that's so cool.
And I'm like, I hope he never sees my YouTube video on Omar's channel where I made a big deal about how I skip backup issues.
Whoops.
Yeah. Because the internet, so I've heard nothing but good things about Space Ghost and Thundercats. I loved Space Ghost as a kid. I never watched the Adult Swim show where he was like a late night talk show, but I always wanted to. I forget what that show was called, but I have no history with Thundercats, but I've heard nothing but good things about that one. So I'm just excited to start reading things besides DC and Marvel. And I'm excited for my partnership with Dynamite,
Yeah, congratulations. That's big.
Thank you. I had been trying for a while. Someone from Dynamite had emailed me a few months ago and was supposed to like send me some stuff, and then I gave him my address, and like he was like, cool. And then like a few weeks later, I was like, hey man, did you ever ship anything? And I never got a response, and I was so sad. And I was like, darn it. And then I got the courage like a month later to go, hey man, sorry we lost touch. And he was like, no, I'll send something. Don't worry, my bad. And then he never sent anything again. So
I guess that's a no.
Yes. So when this different person from Dynamite reached out to me, I went to like Omar and BJ and was like, hey, you guys both like do stuff with Dynamite. Like, are they gonna ghost me again? I just don't want to get heartbroken again. I don't care about the free stuff. I just was excited to finally get to creator interviews,
Yeah. And to be partnered up with just a publisher. I mean, that's pretty cool.
It makes me feel like I've made it, kind of, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I'll be sure to remind Sal. Oh my gosh, come on, man. I'm going to tell your wife you didn't win a giveaway. And then we'll see how dangerous marriage is. Also, when are we going to hang out again? You said we'd hang out after your convention, and then I haven't heard from you. So me and Renee is Spawn got lunch together one time, and he didn't murder me, which was awesome. So that was fun. It was during, like, I made a agreement to my wife that I wasn't going to buy a comic for a month. And then me and him went to the comic book shop, and I saw my first inappropriate erotic Nightwing cover from Tom Taylor, where Nightwing's like in a pair of underwear, like making a snow angel.
And you bought it?
And I was like, I texted my wife, I'm like, can I break my 30 days to buy this cover? And she said, sure. So
never take the sure as an answer.
Yeah, I know you never should, but it is what it is. Space Ghost from Voltaire was the first host of Toonami. And LOL dibs on deluxe of Thundercats. I will be rocking the crap out of that. So Thundercats has a huge love from people, but I, again, have never watched any Thundercats, never read any Thundercats. I think it was just a hair before my time.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the only Thundercats related content I've ever absorbed was, I think there was like a Superman versus Thundercats miniseries that came out, or maybe I'm confusing it with the He-Man, but either way, that's the only thing I
Okay,
think I've ever
He-Man
read.
seems more realistic, but that'd be rad if there was a Superman Thundercats.
I'm pretty sure there is. I'm really pulling from like when I was a kid, but I'm pretty sure there was, and Lion-O cut Superman across his chest with his sword because it has magical properties.
Dude, if it
But
isn't real, I feel like I'm gonna be heartbroken.
I
You
think it
know,
is. Somebody fact check.
I'm gonna Google it. Yeah. So Superman. Wait, is that gonna be your pick for the crossover video?
I don't know if I'll ever be able to find that. I have no clue. I can
Do it
talk
digitally.
about it.
Thundercats Superman is a one-shot crossover between Thundercats and Superman by Wildstorm and DC Comics. Earth's champions meet the galaxy's toughest cats and a special Judd Winnick while attempting to stop Mum-Ra's mutants from retrieving another Eye of Thundara from an alternate dimension. The Thundercats are hurled into Metropolis. Can the Man of Steel withstand a blow from the most powerful sword in the universe?
Yeah,
I'll show the cover just because it looks dope.
Yeah, I definitely remember that very vividly. Yeah, yep.
That is I don't know why it won't zoom in, but that's rad, man.
That's back when DC was bringing, I felt like it was crossovers all the time. Like there was the He-Man crossover, Thundercats, Aliens, Predator.
Dude, the Aliens one is the bane of my existence.
Yeah.
But I mean that I wish we just got like, I mean, I know it would never happen, but like if they just did like a Wildstorm crossover Omni or something, or like where it just had all the like the random one-shot crossovers. But I can't imagine the legal lawyer mumbo jumbo that would take, you know?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, I wish more of the Wildstorm stuff was just collected though. I feel like they're
Yeah.
dragging their feet on that.
I know that we're getting another. I don't. Did it come out yet? The Wildcats Compendium, like that looked like the first like
I
big chunk in
think
a
so.
while. Let me see when that comes out.
First I've heard of it, so I definitely don't think so. At least that's out.
So, okay, it is in stock. Okay, so this came out November 5th, 2024. So it's a pre-order. So
Yeah.
this is like the one that I feel like I shouldn't have gone to Amazon. I should have gone to OPB, but Wildcats Compendium 1. What issues? Does it say what issues? You know what? We can use Curtis Dom's website, which is oh my gosh, what is Dom's website? It's someone in the chat tell me what it's comic book releases. Comic book releases.
I didn't know he had a website.
Yeah, so Dom's big thing here on, let me go to my YouTube. Is so his main thing is he has a comic book website called comicreleases.com, and look at how dope this website is, dude. It's completely free. So basically you go to collected editions and you can search for DC, and then we can go here and search, I don't know, would it be, so that's trade paperback, for instance, right? And this is every trade paperback coming out, when it's coming out, the details and all that stuff. And you can make like, so it's ad free. So I think it's Patreon's like $2, and then you can make wish lists, but it has OPB, Amazon, and it's literally like every upcoming release. I can't imagine the work they've done. Like this is every Absolute edition and when it's coming out, like, and 0 ads on this website, which is just like, that's super cool, right?
And he doesn't get paid for that? Oh, I guess Patreon.
No, they do it. Yeah, they do Patreon. They ask for the benefit of doing the $2 Patreon tier is you can make a wish list then, and it tells you when your books are coming out, of all the books that you want.
Wow.
But dude, if it was me, that thing would be an ad nightmare. I would put ads on every single portion of the website.
Yeah,
But
I'm getting banged for my buck here.
You're right. Like, I guess they have an OPB code also, but like, yeah, for me, why do they not have a compendium section? But yeah, you can see here's omnibuses, for instance, and literally everything, even like the brand new ones that we're going to talk about with Omar on Friday. Like, he puts the second it's on Penguin, he has it on his thing. So I feel like this is going to be my new favorite website, you know, because like I can plan like what books to film, you know.
That is really awesome. I can't believe that exists.
And look, like, so that's just one publisher, but you can do like Image, for instance, and
How many
it's
people
all of
run that?
just two dudes. It's Dom of X and his friend Webhead. Wow. So the amount of work that they put into this website for, in my mind, like nothing. Like, because like, how much do you think like they could really be getting? I don't know how many Patreon subscribers they have, but like I asked him like what his motivation was, because it's clearly not money, and he said it was just like to help make comics accessible for people, you know.
That's crazy. That is so awesome. That's true passion right there. To do nothing, put so much in and not really get anything out. I mean, like we said, we don't know how many Patreons he has, but still, it's still admirable.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like it's similar for our YouTube channels. We put so much in, and like, it's not like we're making bang for our. It's not like I'm ever going to get to a point where I make more money on YouTube than I put into my collection, you know.
Yeah, I think you really have to get like crazy views and have crazy subscribers to even get to the point where you're like making it rain.
Yeah,
but pennies.
And I don't know if I doubt we'll ever get that in collected editions. You know what I mean? Comic books, like maybe if it was just like vague, like just comics in general, but like collected editions, it's never gonna happen. But I do it because it's fun, and it's weird that it's segued into my actual professional job, you know. Like now, like some of my day is making thumbnails and making titles for YouTube videos and filming YouTube videos, and I never would have got any of that, or even the confidence to think I could do that if I hadn't done my own channel, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Like tomorrow, my job is to go in and listen to 3 to 5 different pairs of speakers. And then Thursday I'm doing a best of speakers at that price range video. And like, that's my job. Like, I don't know how I conned or grifted my way into that job. But
that one video you sent of you and Jordan, you guys were like sitting on a stage, it almost looked like.
Oh yeah, there's one where we were like sitting down and talking about a product.
That camera quality and everything there, that was
insane,
bananas.
Right?
That was a full production, wasn't it?
Yeah, dude, it really is. Like, I'll show you really fast. So this is, you guys don't know, I have a second YouTube channel that I help work on. And this is what I do actually, like, professionally, but it's called Upscale Audio. And they have 32,000 subscribers, and we have recently become a big portion of these. So like, I helped build these thumbnails, and these are like us showing off the products. And if you look at here, man, you can see like it's a similar vibe to my channel. So I've worked on like best bookshelves under 3,000, best integrated amplifiers under 3,500, best speakers under 5. And like, for me, that's what I've learned on my YouTube channel, is that people want their list of things, or the best ever solo for you. And it literally is my job now to make YouTube videos. So I can't believe I got away with it, you know. And this is my job now, you know. And it's like this one, we tried one where we were sitting down, like this one. It's just like, and like, I don't have to do anything. I just put the work in to make the video and the outline, and then somebody else films it and they do the editing, and then I'll review the edit and make some suggestions. But like, we have a full-time videographer that like does the video and the editing. So, this is nice. Been binging both of your channels lately. Thank you for the great content. Always away from videos with more books to buy.
Thank you.
Awesome, man. Well, I know you didn't have too much time today. Do you have to get going soon?
Yeah, I mean, whenever you're ready. I mean, I'm obviously can't do like 3 hours like the one we did together, but yeah, I just gotta.
So we can do 3 hours when it's your channel, but me, I get the script. I'm just kidding.
I literally got home like when you texted me. I think I was home for it just hit an hour, and I was like,
dude,
yeah, I should do it because you came on mine. You pretty much threw yourself into the fire and offered yourself up on that. So I was like, that's the least I can do. Plus, streams with you are just fun. So why not?
What I would love to get to is like, if I don't know if you've ever seen Omnidog's like not like library, but his like weekly content schedule. That dude has like so many days where he has like a set live stream with a set person. It'd be fun to get to that point someday where it's like maybe like once every 2 weeks or once every 3 weeks we do like a Tuesday show or something, you know? Like I'd
Yeah,
be down to get to that point someday.
because he has batter days.
Yeah.
This last Saturday he had like 4 streams. I got
I
like 4
know.
different notifications
So
live.
so I know that Mondays and Wednesdays he has the Omni Bros stream, and then Saturdays he has Batter Days. Sunday mornings he does Omnidog and Omnicat, but I think she's gone on maternity leave right now. And then on occasional Sundays he does book club with Larry, and then he has a Superman stream with this one dude. That guy's got so many shows. I'm like, why can't we get a recurring show? He's like, you have your own channel. And I was like, oh, true. So
His streams get crazy traction though. I mean, he has so many viewers and the chat is just going crazy the whole time. Like,
yeah. Come on, guys. Why aren't you making the chat crazy? We're up to date. Look, 3 hours. Let's go. Wait, you guys actually have other things to do? Yes. We're both married men who have to work on content, and you got to keep giving people what they want. Just keep funneling them content,
yeah, I'm trying to get to 3 videos again. Like I want to post a video on Friday, but I need to finish this one, so I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to do it. But I'm trying to get back to that.
You want to tease what it's about, or what book it is?
Wednesday, so tomorrow will just be a whole video. That's going to be pretty lax, and then I want to do on Friday. I want to put out something about the DC announcements, so just my thoughts on it, or some type of list of some sort, so people know what to look for.
One thing that I've always been interested that you do that I've never done before, but I feel like it could be fun, is your list of upcoming releases for the month, because like that's a great video because you don't actually have to buy all the books, you know what I mean? Like, so I feel like I'm gonna start using Dom's website to like make a better list for the month of like what books are coming out,
I honestly, that's probably the hardest video for me to like produce, because I have to get like all the covers and information, but I really didn't enjoy it as much until I started getting like comments and stuff of people like, oh, this is what I'm getting, or oh, I love this series or whatever, and then I was like, oh man, I'm committed now I have to do it.
Right. And it's weird because like once you put yourself in like a bubble or you start making a type of video and you get through the beginning period and it starts getting traction, like I was with you. I got pretty big doing haul videos, and then I decided I wanted to take like a break from hauls and try to force myself to make other kind of content. And I literally got subscribers that were like, well, this was fun, man, but if you're done with hauls, I'm unsubscribing. And I was like, oh my God. like
Oh, man.
But at the end of the day, like they don't spend money on my channel, but they spend time, and time is something they're never gonna get back. And there's like 1,000, dude. We're in the peak age of video games, the peak age of comics, the peak age, like the golden age of everything, and they're choosing to watch my videos. So I don't blame them for hey, dude, we showed off your website, by the way.
Yeah. That's awesome.
He said, I never thought about my name that way. LOL. Yeah. Dom of X with his 1,000 subs. Dude, this guy's growth is crazy. He told me today that a few days ago, he hit 500 subs. So he started working on his 500 sub video. And then a few days later today, he woke up to 1,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
But that's also that because he just recently make a YouTube, or
I don't know how long he's been doing it, but I know that I think he's been popping up a lot more on the Omar's channel and like doing live streams with like Jess and like other friends and stuff. So hauls and collections are the best videos. So you know what? Maybe I should just do a haul video and say, "Hi, I lied. I'm never being done with hauls." But what I'm trying to do is not use them as a crutch because it's
Yeah.
so easy to say, "What am I going to film today?" You know what? Let me just show off what I got. But I also am trying to make stuff that's more educational and less like overindulge or overspin. I know when
Yeah.
I first started, I started spending more than I should have because I wanted to catch up to other people. And it took me a while to break out of that habit and realize what's really important. So I just want to make sure that my channel's being a positive influence, you know?
Yeah. I always looked at it just the way that I looked at hauls when I was just like a viewer or whatever. And I used hauls as the way to find out like what book I would want or what book I would want to buy or something. Like I've never in my mindset at least wanted to catch up to that person. It was just I would get excited and be like, "Oh, that's one I want," or that's one I need," or whatever it
Yeah.
may be. But so I try to use it in that, and also just a creative, goofy outlet.
I
Plus,
think,
I
yeah.
need that crutch. Not all of us can be like you, Jake, where we just get 4K subs out of nowhere and then have a what's that Thanos video at
Oh my, like
320,000.
600,000 or something, dude. But like, it was weird too because I had to stop doing shorts because I don't care about shorts. I cared about long form content. And because that Thanos thing did so well, and I got such a huge portion of my subscribers from that one short, they never watched any of my other content.
Yeah,
So the algorithm was like, hey, you 600,000 people that watched this Thanos 60-second clip, do you want to watch Jake talk for about 10 Batman books? And they would never watch. So it was this weird thing where my views were smaller than anybody else who had the amount of subscribers at my size because I didn't build up the slow and steady way, if that makes any sense. Like I
yeah,
feel like I almost took a shortcut. But I will say though that like it is weird because I haven't been doing YouTube as long as other people. And there was I've slowly inched my way up and quickly inched my way up faster than people I used to be oh, like their channel's bigger than mine. I'll be as big as them someday. And now I've blown past some people. So it's weird because it's easy to get imposter syndrome where I feel like I'm way less knowledgeable about comics than most of you guys. I've read way less because I haven't been reading for years. I've only been reading for a few years, but then I realized no, I still have value, and people have been people like my content for a reason.
yeah. And the production level and just the skills you've gotten from not only YouTube but your job now too that
Yeah.
you can apply. So that's really probably the big benefit to people subbing to your channel is it just keeps improving because you just keep
Oh.
getting more and more tools.
Yeah, thanks, man. And I think that's what it is for me, like, even if my channel didn't grow but I grew as a creator, I'd be happy. So
Yeah.
like sometimes like I don't know how much of I know it's hard to watch each other's content because there's so many of us and we're busy with our own lives. I don't know if you watched any of my recent videos, but like I sometimes put so much work into things that I feel like people will never notice or appreciate. But like I do it for me. Like for instance, my creator interview. I feel like pretty much anybody else would have just dropped it live, but I went through and I painstakingly edited the whole thing, added in images and videos and things like that to like as we were talking about stuff. And I feel like that's just my own weird neurosis of like having to try to take everything one step further versus just like it would have been so easy to click upload the second the interview was done.
Yeah. And I mean, I think I prefer that route. So I think you went the right route there. Like sometimes the live stream interviews, like I feel like they're just a little not I don't want to say flat because that sounds mean, but it's like I just like the more prepared
Yeah.
clips or series of clips because I think BJ does a similar thing too, where he'll like interview someone and record it, and I just think that's a little bit more my palette as a viewer, and I'm sure a
Yeah.
lot of other people agree or disagree depending on.
It is hard to like I was lucky that that interview was pre-recorded. And what I will say is that is my worst performing video I've ever done, like I said, on my channel. But you know what? It was important um and I learned something. As soon as I was done with the video, I got a notification that everyone's videos had an audio had uploaded, and I could have downloaded the individual video section. So I could have cut in between all three of us talking, and then just him, and then just me, but I had already done all my cuts, and it would have been too much work to try to make it line up. But in the future, I'm already thinking about like how I can take that one step further where it's like it cuts in between, like, because you want to make it visually interesting. I know not always what we talk about is the most interesting stuff, as interesting as being in the conversation. So you want to try to make things visually interesting, like I learned over time that like I don't think it's that visually interesting to like say I'm doing this book right here, right? Just like flip through the book, but I think people respond a lot better to like putting up the images from the book and making them like move and stuff like that. And I think it's things like that like I don't see a lot of other channels doing as much as like, I know you've done it and I've done it and stuff like that. I think it's just a different, interesting flair,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I still don't get a lot of views, but I mean, I mainly do reviews and like overviews and stuff, which, as you know, don't perform super well unless you're Omar. But but I noticed a big jump as soon as I started putting imagery on the screen and doing panning and movement and stuff like that. So I definitely think that's the key to keeping people's attention during those videos.
It is like, I think when YouTube first started, it wasn't about how long they watched. It was about how many views you got. And then quickly it transitioned to, I would rather have less views if the people watched my videos longer. You know what I mean? And like watch time is more important. To answer this question, when you grow that fast, is there a negative when the views to sub ratio is way off? There is, because essentially what happens, the way YouTube's algorithm is working currently is if you make a video and people watch it, they will recommend your next video to those same people. And if those people watch it, then it'll start getting shown to people out that aren't subscribed to you. But if you have a lot of subscribers that subscribe for one type of video, like say they just subscribed for that Thanos short, and I can say, hey, watch this overview, watch this haul, watch this Batman video. If they don't watch it, then YouTube shows your next video to less people. So YouTube, unlike other social medias, like TikTok, every TikTok is random. You can't control what TikTok, if you have a TikTok that gets 10,000, your next one could get 20 views, but YouTube is a snowball that builds momentum. And if you do a video that struggles, like it can hurt your next few videos. That's why, like, I use Comic Pop as an example. They found out that people only wanted to watch back issues, which is one type of video that they did, but they wanted to do live streams and creator interviews and other things. So they created a second channel called Comic Pop Returns, where they do all that stuff. And it's just weird trying to balance those things. Obviously, I'm not a professional YouTuber, so it's not as important for me to have multiple channels, but it is hard when, like, if you do a video that struggles, your next video gets shown to less people and you have less of a chance of it doing well, even if it's better,
Yeah. And honestly, like, getting the algorithm down is even a slippery slope, because like you said, the algorithm now, but the algorithm's like forever changing. So as soon as you're like, oh, I know how this works, YouTube changes it, and then it just doesn't matter anymore.
Exactly. So I always tell people, don't make content for the algorithm, make content for the audience. So like I guess what's hard too, another wrench in it is that overviews do not do well, So for a while I said, you know what? I'm not going to put overviews on my channel because I have to do overviews. That's how we get free books. But I only put them on OPB's channel. But then I was only doing like one video a month. So I don't know what the right balance is, because I've been putting overviews on my channel. They're not doing very well, but like at least I'm putting out more content, So I'm trying to figure out the right way to balance. So I think what I'm going to do, this is my plan. I think I'm going to do an overview for OPB and a review for my channel and see if that does a little bit better. And for my review, instead of flipping through the book, I'm just going to show pages of the art with like moving images and that stuff, because every video I do where I flip through the book, they stop watching instantly. And that's because you can't compete against Omar's value of his encyclopedia knowledge. You know what I mean? Like, my Hitman video was like 10 minutes long and I was the first one to do one, but Omar's was a few days later and it was like 35 minutes, and every second of his video had so much more value than mine.
Yeah, I noticed a dip in like my quality during reviews and overviews during the overhead portion, because it's so difficult to turn a page and talk at the same time. And I know that
Mhm.
sounds so dumb, but when you do it, you're like trying to think of the next page while talking about the last page. And it's really it's like, you know, tapping your head and rubbing your
Yeah.
tummy at the same time. It's very difficult.
I did one of my best overviews I've ever done was on Absolute Court of Owls, and that's because I pre-planned what 3 sections I was going to talk about, and I bookmarked the pages, so I knew exactly, you know. And it's like that's the hard thing too, is you never know how much to show up. You don't want to spoil, but you want to entice. And then
Yeah.
it's also hard because David does a first look on every book that comes in, you know,
Yep.
and like so you want to make sure your thing's different enough than theirs. So it is interesting, man. There's a lot people don't understand. YouTube is 1,000 different skills. I was talking with this with Dom today. It's 1,000 different skills, and everything has to be done right. Otherwise, like it's always the one thing you didn't do perfect that everyone notices, you know.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and
That's I tell my wife that too. Like I'll like flub like a name or something, and I'll want to re-record it, and she'll be like, "Oh, you know, just don't worry about it. You know, they'll laugh at it or whatever." But it's like that's the one thing everybody will hold on about that
but
video.
then in a weird twisted way it works, because if you make a mistake, like I accidentally mixed up a portion of Kingdom Come and Injustice, where I thought that Superman killed the Joker. And I said that in one of my videos. It has tens of thousands of views and stuff, but I was completely wrong. I misremembered. What he does is Magog kills the Joker, spoilers, and
Right.
Superman leaves. But I have so many comments of people saying, "Oh, you got that wrong," blah blah blah, and but that helped the engagement, and the video did so well,
Yeah.
you know. So it's like you have to remember that, like, you're always going to be your harshest critic, and be okay. I guess we'll hit a couple of these comments, then I can let you go because I know you got to finish your video. Oh, Jake, you should be proud of yourself. That's the legendary Day.
Yep.
And
Also a great
then
channel.
also a great
Omni-Nation
channel.
Comics.
Right? One of the OGs in the game, man, that I used to watch before I started.
Same here.
How do reviews compare to overviews? I have honestly, man, at least in my channel, the niche that I've put myself into, people want haul videos and people want top 10 lists.
Yep.
And I don't know how this might be a good question for you. What do better, your reviews or overviews?
I just started doing overviews. I mainly tried to stick to just reviews because that's what I absorb on YouTube the most, and I just wanted to put my thoughts out there. But it's kind of weird. It's a catch-22. I mean, I have some reviews that are at 1K and or above, and then I have some that are like at 500. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's really a catch-22, and I think it has to do with the hype around the book, maybe the sense of wonder around the book. Like maybe it's not a super well-known run or something. I mean, that all those things come into play, and I mean, I have no clue what determines it.
If I were to make an educated guess, overviews might grow quicker in the beginning when the book, if you, because you have to, the overviews are not an evergreen thing. You have to be first,
Yep.
or you have to be almost first and better. And but then they stop growing at a certain point, you know.
Yep.
But I'd imagine reviews are slower. But like, say you do a review on a book, right? And then say down the line, like a year later, maybe they announce a movie based on that comic book or something. I would imagine the reviews, even though they're not flashy, would grow more over time. But
Yep.
I also feel like reviews are so much harder to do than overviews, because it's so much easier to talk about 10 books in 20 minutes than it is to talk about one book for 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, it is, and they're more personal, you know, but it's weird. So I've only really done a few reviews on my channel, and I'm proud of them. I did one on why I think Three Jokers was misunderstood, and
Yeah.
I know that you're not a fan of that one, right? That book, right? Or do you
No,
like that book?
I love Three
Okay.
Jokers. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So that was like one of my, and I put a lot of work into that video, and I shared all my thoughts, and it didn't do as well as I wanted it to do. But like, that's YouTube. You got to just keep, you know.
Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head. Like reviews just have a longer shelf life than overviews. I mean, once you put out an overview, and that book comes out, nobody's going to watch you flip through the book and wonder about it, because they'll just do that on their own time. So reviews, that's why I always liked watching reviews, and I like producing them, because it's at least like it's a conversation that you're starting about the book and weighing in your thoughts, and then the audience can, you know, add to it or say what they think. And that's why I always liked them the most.
That's why I'm hoping that, like, as I try to transition to more, like, for instance, like a different style of video was I switched to digital comics for 30 days. I'm hoping that video just keeps growing, you know, as new people Google how to read digital comics. I'm hoping that's like a resource for them, you know, because the interesting kind of videos are hauls. For instance, for me, every haul I do is my 1 out of 10 video. It's my best performing for a period of time. It would get like 3,000 views or something, and then not a second view more. And I realized that, like, that might just be all the haul watchers on YouTube in our niche. You know what I mean? Like, and they all just jump on that and they watch it. And but the thing is, like, no one's going back. I don't think anyone's going back to my haul from 6 months ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I think there was like, I mean, there was a point, I mean, you can probably co-sign this, where like I'd post a video and I was always in the analytics, you know, how many views, how many this, how many, but now it's like almost at a point where I just more care about the splash that it makes in my little community area. And I don't even mean like a tidal wave splash. I just mean as long as it's like entertaining the people that I've now like gained as friends in a way on my channel, then I'm more than happy, as long as those people get the video that they want and enjoy it once it's out.
It's really interesting for me because my work channel obviously has 10 times the subscribers that I have, right? But it's a much older demographic, and like we'll get a video that gets like 20,000 views, right? But it'll only have like 13 comments, and that's because they didn't understand that you need to grow while building a community. So I think when you get to a point where you start caring more about, like you said, the community that you've built. And for me, it's like I care, even if I don't get a lot of views, if I get engaging comments and positive feedback, like my recent video I did on my favorite comic book YouTubers was like some of the people gave me some of the nicest feedback, and the video wasn't even about me. The video was me giving love to other people, but I had so much positive feedback of people saying, "Hey, this is why you're one of my favorites, because like you're giving love to your friends and love to other people." And like that to me is more rewarding. I don't like I had to get off of Studio because there was a point in my life I woke up and checked YouTube Studio, went to sleep and checked YouTube Studio. And like if I did a bad video, it like really got to me, you know, because like but you can't control everything. Maybe there was like a sports game that night. Maybe it was a holiday. You can't control everything. So
and the like sick and twisted like aspect of that mindset that we all get into, like when we first jump to YouTube, which is like the waking up in the middle of the night and checking the analytics, is you look at the views and like what you just said, if I put up a bad video, it would affect me. But the thing is the video is probably great, just nobody's seeing it because of the algorithm, and it would affect you negatively and mentally.
Shouts out to Dom of X. He saw my suggestion earlier in the stream, and now there's a compendium format on here. So Wildcats Compendium is coming out on the 5th. Hardest working man in comic book YouTube right now. He was watching our stream. He heard me casually offhand mention, I wish there was a compendium section. And now there is a wild.
The grind don't stop.
Dude, honestly, I subscribed to his Patreon today because I'm definitely going to use this to help roadmap future content for me, because like I think what I found is that like if there's a DC book coming out, if I read it digitally first and buy it on Amazon where I get it on the day of release versus like a week or two later, I can do a good overview, you know?
Yeah.
And then return it when OPB sends me the book, you know what I mean? I'm just kidding. But yes, this was my second stream. We're getting ready to end it because he's got to edit his video. And when you say no one's going back to Hull 6 months ago, I feel like most videos aren't evergreen unless it's a review. So you'd be surprised because like top 10 lists, for instance, That video is
yeah.
going to grow. I mean, maybe not forever. I'm going to say forever and then never get a view again. But sometimes my best performing video of that month is a top 10 list I did like months ago.
Yeah.
So if the idea is never changing, then it's all just about the value that it offers, you know? So like,
Yeah, I think he's close. I mean, the only thing I would
yeah,
add is just reviews and list
yeah.
videos, top 10s, top 5s. Those are definitely evergreen, but hauls are evergreen, I would say, for like the month or maybe the 2 months there, and then they'll flatline after that typically.
First off, I want to say thank you to Dom, which I'm excited, dude. We got Dom set up with a live stream setup now, so he's
Yeah.
going to be ready to party soon. And then thank you so much, Master Swag King Comics and Manga, for the super chat. This is like, you know what? This is awesome, man. Love your content. Would love to collab. I will say, I'm more on the comic side, so I feel like Illuminerdy is your guy to collab with manga because I need color in my books and I want them to flip the right way. But
Oh,
much love. So I, you know, I have an email or a Discord, or you know, just shoot me a message or something. We'll see if we can work something out. I put up a 23 marathon 23 episodes of an old video game biography show and got like 1/5 of the view of the previous one doing the same. Then I realized I streamed it during the Evo tournament. So I don't. Spooey has a channel where he's a digital archivist, so he'll put up like a lot of those old like gaming TV shows and things like that. Like it'll basically like the only way to watch these forgotten TV shows. And oh my god, Flip the Right Way canceled. I was being sarcastic. Don't clip that. It's definitely getting clipped now. But yeah, that's the thing. He did the exact same video that should have done well, and for whatever reason, you know, there was a video game tournament and that had people's eyes. So it's just the world has too much stuff, you know.
yeah, he had a video idea earlier during the stream on he was talking about we should go over how many books we've read and how many we haven't read. But I think me and you both did that video, or I know I did.
Yes. But in honor of this, that was probably one of my first or third, I think maybe a third video. My collection has exploded since then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why don't streamers do crossover streams like the first hour on this channel? So you know what? StreamYard has a feature, and we did it one time where you can stream to multiple channels at the same time. But I think that just confuses people. And then I think if you leave a chat on that, like say we stream it together, if someone puts a chat on your portion of the live stream, we don't see it. It kind of just fractured the view. I think what we all believe is the rising tide raises all ships. So like anyone who asks me to do a live stream, I'm down to be on their
that in
show.
the mirror. Where'd you come up with that?
I've used that quote in terms of my job before.
Okay.
Okay. Well, seriously though, if your channel does better, that means more people are watching comic book YouTube, and then there's a good chance they'll learn about my channel. So like we all have OPB codes. I'm never like, don't use it. If I'm on your show, I'm not going to say use my code. I'm going to let you, it's your time to shine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And vice versa. I think we all want each other to succeed. So I'm happy to be a guest on everyone's stream. So the multi-streaming thing, we did that with BJ. I did that with OmniDog once, and I think it just confuses people. They never know which stream they're supposed to watch.
Yeah, I don't know if I watched those streams, but that sounds confusing just to even talk about. So I like this. I like just choosing a channel and going for it.
And just so you guys know, live streams are like I think I'm gonna probably make like the $2 from that super chat and then maybe 20 cents from YouTube, because I don't have the legion of fans like OmniDog has. But for me, the value I get is I get to talk with a friend for an hour about comics, and I don't get to do that on my regular day-to-day life much. I have Jordan, but other than that, like this is how we socialize as friends, because we're friends. All of us are friends, you know?
Yeah.
And we're all about just like building up the community. So this was a lot of fun, man. This was a blast. Illuminerdy, where can they find you?
Illuminerdy _ my little name thing. Type that on YouTube and I'll pop up.
And it's linked down below in the description. I went back to our last live stream and just copy and pasted the description. So I made because I had like 5 minutes to make a thumbnail and get the live stream set up.
I don't even know if I put you guys' stuff in my live stream. I don't even know if I know how to do that. Is that just like a same as a video?
Let me see if I can show you how it works. So let me present.
Sorry, I'm a techno nerd.
No, dude. this is how we get better together. So let me show you kind of how it works. So we go to StreamYard, and then when you go to, like, say you're going to create a live stream, right? You choose where it's going to go, title and description. So what I usually do is I pull up a previous live stream and copy like the same generic description, and then any links can go here. And then that way it's linked down below. So you got to do it when you're setting it up.
Okay. Whoops. Okay.
Or you can go to YouTube Studio and add it in after the fact, But
okay. And I'll just do that.
Yeah. So you're good, man. Also, like, we just had a blast on your show. It's totally fine. We're just happy to do the streams. You don't have to put Illuminerdy _ anymore. Tyler will pop up right now. His channel grew that much. Heck yeah.
Well, there's also other Illuminerdys, which I had no clue about.
Put the _ because you know what? It could be that your algorithm knows you want him when you search Illuminerdy, but also
sometimes I feel bad because they'll like post a thing in the Facebook group of favorite comic book.
Did they put the wrong one?
I don't know, because I don't know if they're actually fans of that channel because it is a comic book channel, or if they meant me. So I just don't say anything and I just go whatever. But
I know the guys. It's definitely supposed to be you. If it's not you, I will message them and they'll fix it. It's like they like created a list of all the people in the community and they just copy and paste it. So if it's the wrong one, man, I'll message them and let them know, because it's you, man. You're in the group. I don't think the other, hot take. I don't even watch the other Illuminerdy, but you're the only Illuminerdy I'll ever watch.
Nice. I appreciate that.
But yeah, no one has made a cooking and comic book discussion video, and that's probably because we don't want to get things spilled on our books. And on that note, everyone keep watching and stay brave.